Hello, everyone, and welcome to a sizzling hot edition of Ace Your Space. And now, here's your host, Michelle Chatterchick Lowe.
Yay! And then up the song. The song for Ace.
Look, I made
it. Everything's coming up Aces.
Whoa, what a cool song, huh?
What a cool song. I mean, how does that fit our show? I would say perfectly. Well, hello there, Chuck. Mr.
Hello
Shoulders.
There. Yes, we are here. We are past our 2-year mark.
Yes, we are. It is. Today is our 26th hour of Ace Your Space, and I want to welcome everybody that's listening to us. This is going to be a positive talk show, radio show. No politics, no religion. Not that we're against it. That's not what our show's about, is it now, Mr. Shoulders?
No, but I'll tell you this. Those things can, well, especially politics, can really creep their way into almost any conversation these days. There's a lot of red-hot issues. And speaking of red hot, what do you think about all this heat?
It is, yesterday actually ended the second heat wave that we've had, and today or tomorrow, I'm not sure which, it might be today, starts the third heat wave. So perfect timing for Ace to be on the air, because we do have everything that everyone needs, contractors, residential, that everyone needs for these times right now, for the heat, for the hurricanes, and I know that you're going to cover some of that for me today, aren't you, Chuck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know that you're into the science part of hurricanes, and it's just you could add so much value to the listeners. They don't always want Miss Cheery; they want some information once in a while.
Well, listen, when you give straight information, sometimes it's not all peaches and cream.
You know that, and even we have heat, we have the air quality. Let me ask you this. Let's ask the audience. I'm sure everybody should be similar. I have a feeling mine might be different. The past week, what would you say that you've had your thermostat on?
You asking me or the audience?
I'm asking everybody. You, because you have you on the line with me. By the way, folks, we are doing this remotely again today, just so you know. We're not at the studio. Each one of us, Chuck and myself, are at our homes, calling from our homes.
The power of technology.
The power of technology. Yes, sir.
That's okay, because we're still live and we're still able to take calls, and we want to hear what you have to say about this very intense heat we've experienced here in the Delaware Valley.
And I want to know what your thermostat's on. What is yours? What do you keep yours on, Chuck?
Keep it on 77.
Whoa!
But with the baby and us having a 2-story home, heat rises, so we thought it was a little warm for him.
Yes.
Upstairs, so we have it at 75.
Okay, so when I have mine on 75,
when you go 2 degrees lower,
it's okay for me to nice little hummingbirds hanging around here today, Mr. Shoulders. And when I have mine on 75, it's actually 79 in my house. So I do have somebody, he was here the other day, but he is going to come back, and he's probably going to have to see if there's like a little hole in the ductwork, which we do sell at Ace as well.
Oh, of course, yes.
So, I mean, they have the thermostats. You could program them. I don't personally like to program mine, but they have smart thermostats as well.
Oh, there is so much technology today that can help you adjust your home's electric bill, when it comes to AC or heating. And there's just so much technology. And also the units themselves are very efficient today, probably more so than ever, I would say, the air conditioning units.
Yes.
And there's more options, too. Like, if you live in a home that doesn't have... You live in an older home, let's say. Some houses that are out there that are from the 1800s. There was no ductwork back then.
That's true.
Guess what? That's okay. Because Ace has the Rheem mini splits.
I love it. They're my favorite. I mean...
ductless air conditioning system that you can put anywhere. It doesn't matter if you have ductwork or not. It doesn't matter if you have a house that was back in the 19th century. You can put some AC in there without dealing with window units.
I think it's one of my favorite things at Ace. I mean, it's in the training room. I love it.
And you know how hot it gets in that training room?
Oh.
Windows, we have beautiful loft.
Look at those beautiful windows.
But, of course, the heat comes in. It's like it magnifies.
And in your office as well, right? Because you're on the other end with all the windows.
So we can give a testimonial here about how powerful those Rheem mini splits are. How fast would you say it cools down? You've experienced that.
Oh, it cools down. What size do you think that room is, Chuck? Because you would know the measurements more than I, just to give them a better idea.
Gosh.
It only takes, I would say, for that room, 5 minutes. And then to really get to the temperature where maybe possibly you have it set, maybe 10 to 15 to the temperature. But actually to cool down to where you're comfortable, I would say about 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's probably 25 feet by 10, 12, something like that.
It's pretty big.
Decently sized room. And with
it's all windows.
Yeah, that's a true testament to how powerful those mini splits are.
A friend of mine has been inquiring about them. They don't have central air, so they're and it's not they even have an older home. It might be 30, 40 years old, if that, but they're checking into it. And I mentioned the mini splits. I said, I think they're more reasonable, actually. You know what I mean? Because you save money on your electric bill with a mini split if you don't have the ductwork.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. If you were comparing it to, let's say, the only other option someone would have would be like a window air conditioner sticking out of their window.
Right.
Those things rarely shut off.
That's true. I remember them as a little girl until we got our first ductwork done, as we say, and then life changed. But, yeah, that was always a topic in the family, when to leave the air on if you were leaving the house. It was always a problem, because maybe one parent wanted it on, the other one would want it off. At least with central air or mini splits, you can control that a little bit easier, I think, Yeah,
they actually, once they reach the desired temperature, they will shut down. They're just very efficient and pretty easy to install. Of course, we would always recommend using a trained HVAC tech. We have plenty of them that shop at Ace.
And if not, to please give Ron Basolis a call.
Yeah.
At Ace Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical Supplies, right in Byron, New Jersey, 856-692-9374. Ask for Ron Basolis for all your HVAC needs. And
that's the kind of service you get at Ace Plumbing, Heating, Electrical Supplies, is the fact that you have people like Ron there. Ron is an HVAC engineer.
Yes, he is.
Smart guy. He knows his stuff. He knows how to size things properly. If you have a question about the Rheem mini splits, or you need a new Shore Comfort air conditioning system, a whole system, give us a call.
And get this. He's got a great personality. And I say it like that because most engineers, to me, this is me, all personality. I'm all personality. No, nothing factual going on here, right? So in saying that, typically somebody that is an engineer, I don't jive with as much. You know what I mean? I love Ron. He's got a great personality. He's funny, and yet he's really, really smart, Yeah,
he's laid back, really nice guy, and he's been with Ace for a while, and he knows his stuff. So if you have any questions, he's the guy.
And I do want to mention, along with trying to keep cool, it's all about keeping the quality of the air, keeping that air, the quality to make it comfortable, to get that humidity out. And it's supposed to be really bad coming up. So, they did code oranges everywhere, and that was more North Jersey. And you have to be careful with your elderly. There are some elderly folks that do not have any family, and they're in their homes. There's more deaths of the elderly in the heat than any other.
Oh, absolutely.
With the heat. So I just want to mention that if you have an older friend, just make sure if you didn't see him in a day, your neighbor, to make sure that you, knock on the door and make sure that they're okay. And pets, please be careful. If your feet are hot on the tar, so is your pet's feet.
Very good point.
And I just want to say this so I can get it out in the energy. Mm-hmm. I put in an application for a puppy, and I believe that Puppies and More Rescue from Marlton is going to be getting my furry friend tomorrow.
Oh.
I have a feeling I'm going to have a little family soon, so I just want to put it out there. This way the energy comes back with the perfect pup. How's that?
What kind of dog are you getting?
Well, it looks like it'll be a mix of a Chihuahua. It's a mix. Could you imagine me with a Chihuahua?
Make sure you wear something on your ankles. So
they're adorable. They don't have the pointy ears or anything, so they're mixed a little bit. So, this will be fun. It'll be a little Ace mascot. I was even going to call him Ace, but, I thought Ace would be cute. But it's either going to be peanut or cashew, either or. So we'll see. We'll see what color.
So it would actually... So his name, he or she, would be Cashew Low.
Well, Cashew, if it's all tan, I thought Cashew was kind of neat because the young lady, Kelly, who fosters for puppies and more, she named the previous puppies, it was all tan, and she named it Cashew. And I thought, well, that's a little sign from my father. He used to call me Peanut. And I always said, if I ever get a little dog, I'm going to call the dog Peanut. So, because my daddy called me Peanut. I don't know why. I was such a giant. But anyway, so my dog, I thought I'd call him Peanut. And then when I saw a Cashew, I said, hey, that goes under the Peanut idea, right? Mm-hmm. If anybody has a dog that's named after a peanut, I want you to call the show. Because I really want to know that. You want to give out the call-in number? Chuck?
Can you hear me, Michelle?
Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Hello, I'm here.
Oh.
I lost you there for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to know, can you give out the station's number?
Well, folks, if you want to call us here, Ace Your Space, Cruisin 92.1, WVLT, you're welcome to do so at any time. If you want to answer any of these questions that we have for you, 856-696-0092.
And Neil from Cruisin's called in when we had a question last month, and he actually won a nice cooler and a T-shirt, and my brother, Marshall, Rocky from Cruisin's, actually delivered it for me. It just happened to be that a driver from Cruisin's called in because he just left our place. He delivered something. And so I want to thank him for picking up his gift. Get that out there, because sometimes people win and they don't come and get their gifts.
Oh, that's true. And that was a cool call last month. I mean, he hit that nail right on the head, didn't he, when we asked him that question about the billboards?
Yes, he did. And I'll tell you, I have another question. This way we have a chance to win something. So this year, Ace has a birthday, right? Mm-hmm. What do you think? Maybe I should use that for the question. All right. If anybody's out there listening and you know what year that we are celebrating this year, give us a call, because you will get a prize. 856-696-0092. Call in. Let us know what year we are celebrating. And if you want a bigger prize, let me know how many years Larry Berman's been there. Now, that's a big prize. That's a big one.
Yeah, that's great. I like that.
Sound good?
Yeah.
This way we can give him a chance to win something, and then we can get back into our Storm Ready. Let's go into a little bit of Storm Ready ideas, only because of the heat and because Ace does supply everything for Storm Ready. So I thought we'd do a little segment on that.
Well, this is very important on several levels, because we're dealing with, the global warming essentially is at the heart of all this, and that's a very hot political thing. But whether you think it's man-made, a natural Earth cycle, or a little bit of both, whatever part you happen to fall into there, the one thing we can all agree on is it is getting warmer. Now, when that happens, storms get more severe. Allergies will become worse and worse over time, over the years. This is data from scientists.
Right.
That watch the weather, that measure these things. So we know it's going to get hotter. We know pollen's going to get worse. So when these storms gradually get worse over time, you really got to start considering emergency plans for your family, disaster kits, things of that sort, because just like this pandemic, and it wasn't a storm, but how many people were really prepared?
Nobody.
Put away and maybe a little bit of toilet paper. I mean, we all saw what happened, right? We all
saw you're right. Yeah.
And a lot of that, I would say all of that panic was because people were not what?
Prepared.
Something like that. So don't let that happen in the storm. Don't let that happen in the heat, because these things aren't going away anytime soon. So
you're right.
So the extreme heat preparedness checklist.
Yes.
Important.
Yes, there is
disaster supply kit.
How do you like that? And I believe that Ace has all the products for that disaster kit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that you could put Ace bandages in and things like that. Duh, I didn't even do that on purpose. Do you believe that? Ace bandages? I did not do that on purpose. Ace disaster kits with Ace bandages.
We sell Band-Aids at Ace?
We sell the little emergency kits.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we sell.
Important. Yeah. And also, along with that kit, you want to make sure you have a family emergency plan. Now, what is that? So that basically means if something happens, like there's a storm and people are kind of spread out in different parts of the city, maybe having a place or a way to communicate with each other, plan that ahead of time. Or if you're just in the house, okay, there's a big storm coming. Where are we going to go? Are we going to go in the basement? What are we going to do?
I'm going to my mother's. My poor mother. I'm going to run to my mother's.
Mom will have everybody.
Hello?
I think we have a caller, Michelle.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hey, Michelle. It's Marie. Hi, Chuck.
Hi, Marie.
Hey, Marie Gallo. How are you?
I'm good. I heard you call Chuck shoulders appropriate.
Chucky shoulders.
Yeah, you call them shoulders. I heard you call them
How's the weather out there, Marie? Are you outside?
It's hot. It's just
Great.
I just came in. Feels good in the air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, it does.
Cool out there, Marie.
I gotta turn this off. Okay. I had my radio on in the house. Okay. So I think I know the answer because, of course, I work for the newspaper. I don't want the prize, but I think it's 70 years they've been in business.
Very good, Marie.
Yeah.
Okay. I remembered correctly.
You do win a prize. You win a prize.
I do.
You do win a prize. In fact, I have some prizes here. And, you and I have been doing curbside, so I will have something for you.
Okay.
I will have something for you, and I'll contact you later today because what Marie's been doing is, just so you know, Chuck, so the whole world, she will drop things off to my curb. It's so cute. Mm-hmm. And then if I have something for her, she'll pick up what I have out there. She drops off a lot of food to me, though.
You're doing curbside delivery.
Right. She's doing curbside delivery. If she's out, she doesn't really get out a whole lot. But if she's out, hey, she thinks of me, and I appreciate that, Marie.
You're welcome.
That's very sweet.
You do the for me.
And congratulations on getting that correct. We appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Larry, I think he's been there since he was a little boy. I know he worked there with his father and his family.
Yes.
So I would say like 55 years because he had to be like 10 or something like that.
You're close. 60 but you didn't quite get it.
Yeah, because
there's 70 years. And he was a little boy, though. You're right. He was a little boy.
Yeah. I knew that because I remember, I think Aaron from Verona telling me that Larry said one day, it was either Bob Tars or James DeFront, one of the Delphi Drive merchants said, Larry said to me when he was a little boy, I'm going to own this place one day. He was a kid on his bike, and he said to his friends, I'm going to own this place one day.
He wasn't kidding. He put it out into the universe, right, Marie?
He put it out. Yeah, you got it. He put it out to the universe, and here he is working at Ace Plumbing, owning it, and going on 70 years of family-owned business. I mean, it's a beautiful thing to see.
That's awesome.
It is. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and I'll let you get back to your show.
Wonderful.
I couldn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Let you get back to your show.
Well, thank you for calling in, Marie, and thank you for getting the correct year. Now, somebody will put it out there for somebody to call us and let us know how long Larry's been there, Mr. Larry Berman.
Yep. Okay.
And I'll probably give you a call later, Marie.
All right. Sounds good, Michelle.
All right, kiddos.
All right.
Thanks for calling in.
Bye-bye.
Take care,
You're
Marie.
welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, that was nice. At least somebody knows,
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of people know, but they don't, people are afraid to call in. They don't want to call in. That's understandable. I wanted to go back to that kit that you were talking about because you want to, of course, add the first aid kit, and that's what we have at ACE is the first aid kit. That's what I was trying to say before, but it wasn't coming out correctly. We do have the first aid kit. We do have the flashlights. We have the batteries. We have the battery-operated, the little lights, the camping lights. What do you call that, Chuck, that you hold it?
Oh, well,
the lanterns.
Lantern lights. We have the Nebo Big Larry LEDs.
Oh, they are awesome.
Lighting is tremendous.
I got to tell you, I did pull my lantern out, believe it or not, the other night when we had the storm, just in case we lost electricity. I knew exactly where it was at. I pulled it out. I was ready.
Oh, that's good.
So that's, I have one piece of the kit.
They're handy, and they don't take up much space. Even what is that? The thing about that Big Larry, that little light. I mean, that thing.
Yeah, the Big Larry. I forgot about the Big Larry. We have the Little Larry too. We have all kinds of lights there. We have great lights at ACE. I mean, I don't think people realize. Yes, we have beautiful lights in the showroom, absolutely phenomenally gorgeous. But on the counter side, I don't think people realize residential. I know the contractors know, but I don't think the community, residential folks, actually realize the things that we sell in there, and they're so neat, they're so cool, and they're so useful, is all our LED, all our Nebo, like you just mentioned, all our lights like that, the Big Larry, the Little Larry, the lanterns. I mean, not only do they make great gifts, because they do, they really do, but they're actually in need for your disaster kit.
Yeah, and when you drive by our location, or Branch 1 in Vineland at 667 South Elsie Drive, you'll see how big the ACE Plumbing, Heating, Electrical Supplies building is. And the reason it's that big is because we have a lot of stuff. We probably have stuff that you may not know we have, including things like this.
I'll tell you what, here's another question. If you know how many square feet our building is, that's a big prize, too. That I do know. How many square feet is the ACE building that's on Delsea Drive in Vineland?
Wow.
Woo! Give us a call, 696-0092.
It's a huge building, and the warehouse has airport-quality flooring in it, so it can withstand, the pressure of the shelving and all the products that are on the shelving, and some serious stuff over there. A lot of products, tens of thousands of products. And like you're saying, we can actually even offer a disaster kit and things that you're going to need in the event of a storm. And one of my favorite things of all, this is at the top of the list for me, is anything with Generac, right?
I knew it.
The Home Guardian in particular is a whole home generator. Your whole home. So
that's nice. Yep, that's nice.
Power goes out. Let's say with the heat, for instance, right? Let's say they can't supply enough electric. They have blackouts. So it's a common thing in some cities. So you don't have to worry about that with the Generac Home Guardian because it's powered by natural gas, okay? Which that's all underground, of course.
Right.
Has nothing to do with the electrical grid. So you can power your entire house with that Generac Home Guardian. And Generac has a lot of great rebates for our customers throughout the year. And Steve Pepper at ACE Plumbing and Electrical Supplies would be able to guide you in that direction. And also if you have any questions about that line. But your entire house, Michelle, can you imagine? So here,
love it.
People don't have electric in your, in your surrounding area, and you're like completely unfazed by it because...
Well, they're knocking on your door because they want to shower. So I wouldn't be turning my lights on too much to let them know, that I do have electric. No, you're not taking a shower here.
Yeah, if you're a person that gets rather bothered, and who doesn't, electricity is such ingrained in our lives at the highest level. And if you lose power for an hour and you feel like, man, I don't know what to do with myself, if you're that kind of a person, and plus, more importantly, in the heat, where you could be in jeopardy depending on your age and your situation. The whole home generators are spectacular for alleviating that kind of situation.
Hello, caller.
Good morning, ladies, and good morning, gentlemen. I would say that building is like maybe 100 feet.
Wow, that's a good guess.
Okay.
That's a good guess. That's not the correct one. It's you're 50 more than what it should be. How's that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a good one though. It's actually I think it's 50,000 square feet.
Wow.
I know the showroom is 6,000 square feet. The showroom.
Oh my goodness.
Then we have all the upstairs.
Oh, that's
where a lot of us work.
Uh-huh.
And then we have all the counter, and then we have the warehouse. We have a huge warehouse, huge.
Oh, goodness.
Because we have a lot of supplies for everybody.
Well, that's good.
And your voice is so familiar. You've called our show before.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep, I recognize you. I recognize your voice. You called the last month, didn't you?
I called.
And were you the young lady that came, that was actually popped in when we were doing it live?
The only place I called last month was the country.
Just a caller?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I recognize you. Thanks for calling in. Thanks for listening to our show.
And you have a great day.
You have a beautiful day. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was nice. That was a good guess, though, because that building is huge when you drive by, and yet it's so much bigger inside. But I'm pretty sure I got that right. I'm sure Mr. Sparator, if he's listening, he would call. He can call and correct me.
Then you have that. There's a tremendous depth to the building, also. You know, I mean, it's not just you just look at how wide and tall it is, but it goes back. I mean, it's a.
I wonder if anybody has any secrets, any hidden secrets how to stay cool when your air conditioner isn't. Whoa.
Oh man.
How to stay cool when I would say just don't move.
And we love callers here on Nature Space.
We do love callers.
If you have a question, comment about anything that we're covering, sure to call us right here on Cruisin 92.1 WVLT at 856-696-0092. We love hearing from our callers.
We do. And it's great. We know that people are listening because I get so many emails and I'll get a text later and people get worried. They're like, well, how do you know people are listening to your show? And it's because they run into people and they tell people that we work with. You know what I mean? It's it's once a month and we just want to do something cheery and fun but yet we want to honor where we work. You know, we want to promote where we work because we love where we work, and we do have the supplies that everybody needs. It's not a gimmick. It's not a joke. It's not a commercial. You know what I mean? We have the supplies that you need. I mean, we have everything. I never knew that until I worked there. Even the filters you need. You know, you got to change your filters a little bit more right now because of the heat. Go get your filters. Go get your dust mask. We have everything you need for those disaster kits.
Yeah, and also, like in a pandemic situation, you know what, Michelle? It might not be a bad idea for people also to add to this kit, to add something like a face mask, something like hand sanitizer.
Yeah, dust mask. It said to use, like you should have a dust mask, which we have. You know, we have the face mask. Cotton T-shirts, which we have. And that's all to help filter the air, believe it or not. We have the duct tape they tell you to use. We have the wrench. We have pliers. We don't have the can openers if you're taking food, but, we have the first aid kits. In fact, I think we might even make up, I don't know, maybe we should have our own ACE disaster bags, like backpack bags. Have ACE on the bag and have all the goodies inside. That would be a nice gift for people. You know, like for people to buy that for Christmas. I mean, it's really a nice idea.
Oh, it totally is.
If not, they could just stop there and we'll put it together for them. But I'm just saying, I think it would be cool if we had our own.
I just want to take a minute, if it's okay, to do a shout-out to some listeners that I know.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm not going to say their last name, but friends of mine, they love the show. I want to say hi to Dom and his wife, Lisa, and their children, Nina and Erica. Thank you guys for listening.
Hi, Dom, Lisa, and children.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say hello to Lenny because I know he listens every week. If I really had I can't really name everybody, or else we'd be here just naming names. But Lenny, I just want to say hello to Mr. Lenny W. Since we're not using last names. He's a gentleman that made sure that I knew. That this was 2 years ago. And the sketch that you made of my face that is now famous, Mr. Shazer, because you're a great artist, he has that He has one of them because they made a copy. I have the original, and I had to sign it for him. Isn't that cute?
Oh, wow, look at that.
I had to sign your artwork. Isn't that cute? Because he just says, he said it's a lively show, so that's good, right? I mean,
good.
We want to make people feel good. That's why we're here. We want to take care of you. That's why Ace is here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, I'm checking out this heat preparedness checklist that we have here. So we covered the disaster supply kit and a family emergency plan, right? So also, check air conditioning ducts for proper insulation. That's important. You don't want those to be off.
That's going to be done today. I feel sorry for that guy.
Oh, boy.
He's got to go underneath my home.
Oh, boy, that's glamorous.
Somebody I grew up with. Thank God. Working at Ace, you can't. You don't want to offend anybody because we know all the contractors. We know all the HVAC contractors. And I'm not going to mention names, but this gentleman I grew up with on Brewster Road, and I just figured it was better for me to pick that way. You know what I mean? And he came out the other day, and we thought we had it figured out, but it's just, when it's 79 in my living room, I'm not a happy girl. Because if it's ever over 70 at work, I'm not happy. Mm-hmm. I can't breathe in it is the problem. I can't move the way I want to move. So we're going to get that taken care of today. Everybody should call a contractor and get their ductwork checked out if they think before they replace their unit or, you know what I mean, to get that contractor out there. Let them look at that ductwork. There's nothing wrong with getting that checked once in a while because you never know. It's better to be prepared.
Absolutely. And
as you're talking about.
To be prepared for extreme weather like heat or storms, things that you can purchase ahead of time and have. And really, you can't overstate the peace of mind you're going to get when you prepare. When you're prepared for things, especially things that can unexpectedly come up. Some of these hurricanes, Michelle, move awfully fast.
Oh, they do. They do. And remember, was that a hurricane? Remember, what was it, Dorico, that you just mentioned it not long ago? Derecho.
Yeah, oh.
Did I say it wrong?
Yes.
That Derecho, I mean.
Well, I'm going to paint a picture for you.
Okay.
Okay, now we're going to go in our time machine.
Wait a minute.
The year is 2012. In 2012, New Jersey saw two intense storms. Both of them made history. On June 20th, 2012, South Jersey residents woke to mass power outages and downed trees after being pounded with some of the most severe thunderstorms in state history. This is according to climatologists.
Yes.
Okay, and it was the ratio. So basically, it's essentially an intense mass of thunderstorms that begin to form a line, a kind of bowed out and reverse C, and it was from Philadelphia down to Richmond, Virginia. Huge, okay? And it started in Chicago and essentially grew in power as it moved east. Now that storm, on June 20th, 2012, okay, that storm had 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh, my.
But not much rain.
Right.
Okay, and exploded into a violent line of thunderstorms that stayed intact and actually became stronger as it came from Chicago. Now, when the derecho rolled through southern New Jersey between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., it brought wild lightning and wind gusts reaching more than 60 miles an hour, higher than those rendered by the tropical storm Irene.
Whoa.
That was the first one of two that year that made history. And I'm sure you remember the utter devastation that Vineland suffered at the hands of that. I've never seen anything like it in my life, and there were people that I knew, older people, that had never seen anything like that.
Chuck, I remember getting in my car and at 6:30 in the morning to go get coffee. And everything was out. Everything was dark. I remember seeing this one family. I can't remember, what neighborhood, which street it was, but I was definitely in the neighborhood. I think because I had to do a lot of turnarounds because of the trees that were down. And this one family, they were trying to pick things up. Their daughter was getting married that day. They had everything was down, the tents, the chairs. I felt awful. Like I wanted to get out of my car and help them so bad.
So when it happened at 1 and 2 a.m., they were having the wedding that day?
That day, probably by 11. Here it is 6:30 in the morning. and you know, I live in a community, and everybody had left the I would say 3/4 of the people left the community, but, you know, I was fearless about it. I had really actually gotten bronchitis because we didn't have electricity, and it was hot as heck, and I'd go out into the car and run the car a little bit to get that air, and doing that actually caused a little bronchitis because that wasn't smart to do. So nobody do that. I mean, if you're going to be out of electricity, if you didn't get that generator that Chuck's been talking about, you might want to leave.
Yeah, if you had the Generac Home Guardian back then,
yes,
and they were around, and if you had one back then, you would have saw the devastation around you, but you would have had power.
You would have had power.
Summer, it was unusually warm. It was uncommonly warm. So we're talking about June of 2012. And that month and that year, usually the temperatures are in the mid-80s. So they're around the mid-90s. So not only did you have intense outages, intense devastation all around the city, but you had residents that had no power when it was probably, with humidity calculated, close to 100 degrees outside.
Yes.
Not a pretty picture, and if you lived through that, if you were in Vineland, New Jersey when that happened, I'm sure you will never forget that.
I'm sure. And if you have a story about that, there's another phone call, Chuck.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have a story, if you remember that storm, it was very memorable. Give us a call at Cruisin 92.1 WVLT at 856-696-0092.
And if you're the one that was getting married that day and you're listening to this, give us a call. Or if you're the parents, give us a call.
I couldn't imagine that. That's terrible.
I'd love to know how that went. You know what I mean? I was sad. It was probably in the neighborhood, where Elmer Road's at, back in there somewhere, where St. Isidore's is at. It was in that neighborhood somewhere.
Do you remember all the downed power lines on the boulevard? Did you go down that way?
No, because I'm not out that way for some reason, you know. But so no, I did not. A lot of them on the way to my journey to Wawa.
So at the time, I lived near Newfield. I was in Vineland, and I was near, the boulevard north side, and I could not believe it. It was like the electrical poles were like dominoes. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it looked like we were under attack.
It was like a new world or something to us, right? It was like
crazy.
It was weird. I agree. Like if you were out and about in your car somewhere, that experience was it left something in you. It was kind of scary, lonely looking. I don't know. It was different, you know.
About a very dangerous time for the elderly.
Yes.
That kind of heat. I mean, that could do a lot of people, and especially older people. It's very dangerous.
I have a friend named Sharon, and Sharon is she's in her 70s. Now it could be 98 degrees. Sharon's going to be outside. Sharon's going to be doing her yard work. I have a woman who lives across the street from me, a great neighbor. She's 87. 2:00 in the afternoon. It hasn't been cool in, 2 months, 2:00 in the afternoon? Going to be out there washing her car. They put me to shame. So I'm like, geez, I can't even get to the weeds. So, it's amazing. There's an 87-year-old who can run circles around other people, and yet there's most seniors her age either don't have anybody checking on them, they're unhealthy, and this is very crucial time, very, very crucial time for senior citizens with the heat.
So having a generator, whether it's the Generac Home Guardian or if it's a smaller one that's going to, let's say...
if Mama doesn't want to move in with you, maybe get her a generator.
Yeah.
Like if Mama or Papa don't live around you and they don't want to move in with you and they live too far away, there's another gift. I mean, it's a big gift, but it is your parents and you want them to live.
Yeah, and the smaller generators, you can select what things are powered. So obviously you're going to choose the most important items, like, if it's in the summer, your air conditioning. In the winter, your heating system.
What about my refrigerator? Gosh darn it.
If you have a freezer, if you have a fridge, but you just select the most important items to power if your budget only calls for one of the smaller generators.
I think all you need, really, if your budget calls for the small generator, is your refrigerator and your air.
Well, yeah.
Who needs a shower? Sorry, I just wanted to stay cool. So my generator. Sorry about that aroma, but I'll tell you what, I'm living.
Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes you might be confronted with a choice like that, and honestly...
Ooh, where you been? Nowhere.
You got to have food and water. That's at the top of the list,
Yeah, because you could always... And I don't know about you, but when there was going to be a storm as a kid, the bathtub was always filled up. Fill up the bathtub. Got to have water.
And if you're somebody that... And this is very important. If you're someone that does not have city services like water, like public water coming to your house, you have a well in the ground, you have a well pump that needs electricity. If the power goes out, you don't have water. Not only do you not have power, you don't have water because the pump is off. So it's even more important and critical to have some kind of generator in your house, outside of the house, and providing you that electric so you can at least have running water and the basics, because that's what we're talking about here, the most important basics. If that's all you can afford to have a generator that size, you want to make sure you're covered there.
And how lucky are we? Gosh darn, if there was ever an emergency where we work, can you imagine? Larry, I need to buy a Generac. I need to buy one. Imagine.
Yeah.
We're so lucky.
Oh, absolutely.
Not that we would be first, because, they do take care of their contractors. They take care of their employees, too. But, I mean, me personally, I'd probably go somewhere first before, you know what I mean? But, it's just nice that they take care of our contractors. I read an email, from one of our superiors, and it just showed how much they take care of their contractors. I don't know, say you've been doing business with Ace for 20 years, and then maybe I'm new in town, and I come in, I'm trying to do business with you, and even though we're loaded with supplies, because we are, say we got 50 hot water heaters, but my contractor that's been doing business with me for 40 years, he needs, he needs 25 of them, so I'm going to be really careful about the other 25. That's how they work.
Yes.
They're going to, not that they're not going to take care of anybody new coming in, because they are, but I think we're going to make sure that the people that's been doing business with us, who's been taking care of the community, because they have been, residential buildings, whatever they're doing, it's in our community, that we live, eat, and play in. We're going to try and get those guys first, I think.
Well, it's all about helping the customer. That's what Ace specializes in. That's why when you walk in, we have counter staff, we have experienced people like Steve Pepper, John Spirator, you've got Ron Basolis, you've got Larry Berman there, the owner.
John Spirator, if you're listening, we were trying to not get your name out there for them to call you. We're trying to get them to call Ron Basolis, right, Chuck, and Steve Pepper. We weren't even going to mention Mr. Spirator's name, but we had to. We just had to do it.
And again, if you're going to look into these generators, I just have to throw this disclaimer out there. You want to do it, hire a professional to do the hard wiring, and they have to be outside these generators, especially if they're burning like gasoline to run.
You have to. You won't get the warranty.
Yeah, they have to be outside, and but it's such a great invention, and it's something that definitely absolutely saves lives. There's no question about that.
It definitely saves lives, and it's good to save a life. It's also good to be nice and comfortable when you have a 7-day heat wave. You don't have to worry. Like you said, it's like paying car insurance, Like we pay car insurance forever.
Yes.
And even if we didn't have to, most likely we would for the peace of mind.
Yeah, now keep in mind, these storms, the storm I mentioned at the ratio, and also the one we're going to talk about now real quick, Sandy, was from October 2012. Okay, Sandy, everybody is very familiar with that storm.
Yeah.
Even if the derecho thing was kind of like had its certain path, and some people didn't experience the devastation like others. Okay, because of the way the storm was structured. Hurricane Sandy kind of affected everybody. Millions of people lost power and businesses. 30 people were killed in New Jersey from that storm. Some serious stuff. And, of course, these two storms were from 2012. Okay, 8 years ago. But guess what, folks? Doesn't mean something like that can't churn up again and wreak...
Well, something's going on for sure. I mean, we have Hurricane Hannah, and the names I love, and Hurricane Douglas that are on their way. So, of course, we're going to get a little something from them. Has there ever been a Hurricane Chuck?
I don't think so.
Chuckles or shoulders?
The shoulders would be the upper part of the hurricane would be very wide and.
There might have been, but I think there was a Hurricane Michelle or Michelina. It might have been Michelina. I'm not sure.
Now, God forbid, hopefully none of those storms, we don't experience anything like that again, but just like you were saying, the insurance is like an insurance policy to have these generators and to be prepared with a kit and a family plan. I mean, the hurricane season starts in mid-August in New Jersey and runs through, normally runs through June 1st to November 30th.
Yeah.
So, you want to be careful here. We're in the season, and you just want to prepare ahead of time. And that's what this is all about.
Yeah, I mean, the hurricanes, you could see the heat's here, the rain's here. The electric was fluttering the other day. I thought, oh, boy, here we go with this again. So it seems like it's definitely gonna happen. I want to get one of these in. Wait a minute. 10, 10, couple of 10, 10, 10, couple of 10, 10, 10, couple of 10. What is that, Chuck? 10, 10.
Oh, man, so we're going to shift from generation.
We are, and then we're going to do the list, because I'm looking at the time, and I know when Norm has to cut us off. So I thought, we got to get the 10, 10, couple of 10 in, because I like to get that in every show. 10, 10, couple of 10.
Aside from the emergency preparedness, you can ACE if you need a water heater. Okay, if you're out of hot water because maybe you've had the water heater for many years and the warranty's expired, and maybe you need so many parts that it's not worth replacing the parts on it, and you're thinking about a brand new water heater, several different 40-gallon, 50-gallon, whatever you happen to need. Ace Plumbing, Heat, and Electrical Supply sells the A.O. Smith brand, #1 brand in America, and they have an amazing warranty on these water heaters, okay? 1010, what does that mean? It means 10-year warranty on the tank and parts. That is huge, and that's an Ace exclusive.
Nobody has that but Ace. Nobody. Thank you. 10. And I do it that way, so maybe they'll remember that. I'm trying to get a little jingle or something, because it's such a savings. I mean, suppose you have your hot water heater, and on the 9th year, there it goes. Well, guess what? And in order to get that warranty, yes, folks, you have to have your contractor get your plumber to put it in. This way it's put in properly, and this way you get your warranty. They will keep track of everything for you.
Absolutely. The manufacturers, it's not our rule. It's the manufacturers require that. And, when you think about it, it just makes sense. They have no idea what, someone may or may not know about installing a piece of equipment like that. So if you just hire somebody that's licensed, a licensed plumber to do that, you don't have to worry about any of that. Your warranty. Any of that,
and you get your warranty, like you said.
It just makes sense. Yeah.
It just makes sense to do it properly, and then it's done. So I just wanted to get that out there, because I know a few people have mentioned, Michelle, I can get the same thing at a big box store, and actually you can't. I'm not here to put down that maybe there's an $80 difference. Even if it was a $100 difference, I'm not here to put that down. Go do what you need to do, But the difference, there is a difference. I mean, the professional product for the professional has copper. Most of the things I've seen at the big box store are plastic. So, you have to weigh that out. Plus, they do not come with the 10-year warranty. That right there.
Right.
Proves it to me right there. And the contractors come to us. They're not going there buying the hot water heaters, and there's a reason for that. So just keep that in mind. Not everything that's a little bit cheaper is better.
That's right.
It doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah, and also the experience and the assistance you're going to get at Ace Plumbing, Heat, and Electrical Supply is far better than.
We're actually going to get waited on, for one. I've been in the big box store. I'm like, duh. You will get waited on, and you will get. And I'm not here to put anybody down. You will get waited on with somebody that actually has knowledge, that either's been training themselves, or they've been in the field. I just see a baby hummingbird, and I could tell it's a baby. It's very small. This is what I've been doing, watching birds while I'm working. I have feeders everywhere, yelling at them, yelling at the blue jays, squirrels. This is what you do when you work from home, I guess. Now, did you want to do a rundown of a list that this way they know what products that they can get if they need, to put their little disaster kit together?
Well, if you're talking about storm, you want to, of course, have the kit, the emergency kit.
The first aid kit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't get it out to you a while there. I was like, the emergency. I meant first aid kit, so that's good. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, and that's very important because you don't know if you're outside and you're trying to clean up after a storm and you get cut. Emergency personnel may be busy all over the place, so having something like that handy is a great idea. Of course, your flashlights that we have at ACE, LED bulbs in them, which are extremely bright, energy efficient. Of course, you need batteries to go in the flashlight. We have the batteries also that you can put in the flashlight. You can see what you're doing. We have gloves, if you need to buy a pair of gloves. I mean, we have so much stuff.
We have it all. Like you said, we have the dust masks. We have the K9s, everybody. We
have
K9 9 to 5.
Yeah, we have eye protection from lift safety glasses. We have a lot of those. They're really popular with contractors and homeowners. Like if you happen to be outside and you're doing some home improvement DIY job, we have lift safety products for you, gloves and safety glasses. That's all very important. Can prevent a trip to the hospital potentially. You want to make sure you're protecting yourself, protecting your eyesight, protecting your hands.
We have the wrenches. We have the pliers that you can turn off your utilities with. The duct tape.
Yeah.
I hate duct tape.
You have a hole in your ductwork. You don't want one of those. Get some duct tape and put it on there.
Hello, is that Norm?
We have another caller.
Hello, caller.
4 minutes.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, it's Norm. How about we had a caller? And also, I wanted to add something to the list of that emergency disaster.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe you should throw in a deck of cards for the kids, because that would be a disaster to me if they couldn't keep themselves busy. A deck of cards. They put everything for the emergency for us to live, but what about a little entertainment for the children, especially you have 5 kids?
Wow.
You know? What do you mean, wow? You have a chance of this in life.
Busy.
You know how it is with one, Chuck. Speaking of which, has the little man, has little Master Shazer, has he been in the swimming pool?
Oh, he has, yes. And he's loving it. And he's trying to speak, trying to say some words, and he waves at me when I leave for work in the morning.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's one of the greatest.
And remember I told you the story when you come home? Remember me telling you the stories of that when you're getting ready to have the baby? And I think you're at that. You're once he starts walking, it's going to be what I said. I know it. But you must be there where he has that excitement to see you when you come in the door.
I love being a dad. Having him run to you when you come home is just tremendous.
2 minutes? What did he say, a minute?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. We're down to 2 minutes. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to say, we are Ace Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical Supplies. We have 7 locations to serve you. If you go on teamace.com, you will see everything and everybody of who we are. We are your #1 supply house in all of South Jersey. I'm proud to work for Ace Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical Supplies. I'm proud to work with Chuck Shazer, who's my co-host.
That's right. We have everything you need, all the comforts of your home. And if you want to get some really attractive lighting for your home, stop in the showroom. We have so much there and such great help when you walk in. If you have any kind of question at all, we're there to assist you. And we appreciate all you guys listening to our show. We've been on for over 2 years now, Michelle.
Over 2 years. This is our 26th hour. August 22nd, here I come with the number 2s. We'll talk about that another time. August 22nd will be our 27th hour. Did I do that right? Is it the 27th hour? Yes.
Yeah.
Our 27th hour. So it's our 27th show. It's unbelievable. We do this once a month, every 4th Saturday. If you'd like to be a guest, give us a call, 856-692-9374. Ask for Chuck Shazer. And
why not?
He'll let you know if we have room. That's so funny. All your supplies are right on South Delsea Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Let it out. Do the commercial for Ace there, Chuck.
Ace Your Space is brought to you by Ace Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical Supplies, 667 South Delsea Drive in Vineland. If you want to give them a call, it's 800-TEAM-ACE. You can check us out at teamace.com, and we're on social media as well. This show, Ace Your Space, is on Cruisin 92.1 WVLT, the fourth Saturday of every month at 11 a.m., 11 to 12 we're here. Thank you guys for joining us. Another great show, Michelle.
Another great show. This is Michelle, Chatter Chick Low, saying, God bless, stay cool. If you need any supplies, make sure you stop at Ace Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical Supplies. Have a great weekend. Hello, JS.
Hi, folks. This is Michelle, Chatter Chick Low from Ace Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical Supplies. Join me and my co-host,
Chuck Shazer,
from 11 a.m. to 12 noon and every fourth Saturday of the month, while we try to ace your space. We're going to share with you some helpful hints that will improve the quality of any room or project that you are currently working on. Also, we're going to have just a little bit of fun. Join me for Ace Your Space, coming to you from Ace Plumbing, Heating, and Electrical Supplies.